Hi, today we're covering the two very best balance exercises. Although there's so many great balance exercises, I'm going to tell you as we are moving along why I like these best. We want to warm things up first. When we work on balance, it requires a lot of the little muscles in our feet. So with some support on either side of you, let's just warm up our ankles. And when we're warming up our ankles, we're going to curl our toes, spread our toes at the same time. My name is Margaret Martin. I'm a registered physical therapist, certified strength and conditioning specialist. And this is what I love to do. So glad you could join me today. And let's switch that to the other side. So you have some nice support. We're not yet working on our balance. We're just warming up our feet and our ankles to help us in our journey to better balance. Good. Now, take an opportunity to just lift all your toes and press them down into your mat. And lift and press. Our toes are a really important part of balancing. Excellent. Let's do 3 more. Good. Last one. Nice. What are the 2 very best balance exercises? Well, in my opinion, a narrow base where you could still have weight on both feet. Because so often, so I'm going to place my feet as though I've just stepped on a line. So 1 foot in front of the other. If you're in that position and already you're going, whoa, that's pretty intense, or uncomfortable in any reason, any way, you could place 1 foot ever so slightly, another inch or 2 further along that imaginary line. You can place it out an inch or 2 away from that imaginary line. And the reason for that, it just changes and opens up your base of support. So it allows you more room to counterbalance and wiggle. So even just now, as you're exploring, and we're doing this with the right foot in front right now. If you have the left, that's okay. We're going to be switching as we continue on here. So this is probably a good time. You're like, whoa, I've been in this position for a little while. You're going to explore and find out what is your best spot that you go, feel a little bit challenged, but I can do it. So let's just switch. Having both feet on the ground allows you to start getting some strengthening in the hips, in the knees without overloading. So you have more time in compare to where we're going to be going. And so when we're here, there's so many different variations that you can incorporate in this one position. So the very first variation that I would have you do would be to just ever so gently change where your focus is. So instead of focusing on one spot, which might be me right now at the camera, is you, or on your screen, you are going to just move your eyes, not even your head, just move your eyes from side to side. Good. You might be going for a walk and you might get distracted and your eyes start to move. Well, this is emulating that. And you notice how already that just changed things for you. Great. Now this time your eyes are going to look up and down. Perfect. Nicely done. All right, so now what we're going to do, instead of moving the eyes, we're going to turn our head. So the eyes stay forward, but we're going to turn our head from side to side, up and down. Excellent. Let's try that again. Side to side and up and down. Good job. So next challenge, the second best exercise for balance, in my view, is standing on 1 foot, because it allows you to also strengthen the muscles in your hips, knees, and ankles. So how do we do that? How do we strengthen those muscles? Well, one way is by not locking our knee. If I lock my knee, I'm just going to be hanging on my ligaments of my knee and the ligaments of my pelvis and hips, and I'm not getting the strength gains that I would if I keep my knee soft. And so even before you let go, just soft knee. Think about the base of your big toe, fifth toe, center of your heel. So you're really grounding through that space. And as you press down, even though you're keeping that knee bent, you're inviting an opposite energy so that you keep your posture nice and tall. Excellent. Just simply standing on one foot is a great exercise for balance, because to balance well, we need to strengthen. We need to have strong hips. Keeping the pelvis level, so very important. So many people will stand on one foot and this will happen. So this muscle has to be activated to pull the pelvis back up. And yes, it has to work hard from the other side. So that's a long time standing on one foot. You did really, really well. Eyes open. Let's take it to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. So now you're aware, base of big toe, fifth toe, center of your heel, soft knee, invite a long and tall posture. You've lifted the opposite foot. You may or may not be ready to let go. You might be just fingertips, just soft, just knowing that, oh, it's there, it's great. And ideally in front of a mirror, or at the very least, just checking and saying, the pelvises feel level. Okay, so you don't want to let that drop. So nice and tall, perfect. All right, we're going to switch back, because now, just as we did with the other perfect balance pose, which was standing on or close to a line, we're going to add a few variables. We could add, so let's go back to the first leg. We could add all the variables that we did with eye turns and head movement, but let's try something new. So just simply bring the foot forward, slightly to the side, and slightly back. And that's beautiful because it starts to strengthen so many other muscles at the same time. So not only do you get a balance exercise that works on your balance, but it's now also working on the strength in your hips. Excellent. Let's do that one more time. You're doing so well. Good job. Good. And if you found that your foot touches down in between, that's okay. Mine did too. So we have to eventually kind of go, okay, I did, one of them successfully. Next time you do this, you'll do more of them successfully. So switching to the other side, and we all have one side that's better at balancing than others. The other thing to recognize, you might go, why does my balance change from day to day? When we're tired, our balance is worse. And so that's a really important thing to recognize for you to be safer in your house if you're coming in later, or if you've had a busy day and you're just tired. Just be a little more cautious in the things that you do or how you're moving, because you know your balance is going to be worse and your fall risk is going to be greater. It's so very important. We're going to do one more of these. So very important that you recognize how good or bad your balance is so that you don't put yourself at risk. And we're going to just march things out. Falls happen so very easily, and I really want you to stay safe, and I want you to be able to build your balance, stay strong, and I invite you, if you want to look at more ways to strength train, at my playlist that I've developed for you just specifically on some strength exercises to help you with balance. So with that, I wish you a lovely day, and thanks for joining me today.